everyone, in this video we're going to be discussing the pile method for harvesting the castings from your vermicompost bin. To do this, you will need your vermicompost bin, 2 other containers, about a 1/4 cup of food scraps, and a tarp. Before you get started, one of those extra containers should be filled with about 1 to 2 cups of the castings directly from your vermicompost bin and the 1/4 cup of food scraps. I have also added paper shreds on top to provide the worms with a carbon source while they wait. This will be the container where you place any worms or eggs that you find throughout the harvesting process so that they have a safe space to wait until you have completed the harvesting. It's very important to perform this method in a well-lit room, as worms will move downwards into the pile away from light and sound, allowing you to harvest the castings left on top of the piles without catching any of those worms accidentally. The pros to this method are that the worms do most of the work and it isn't very time consuming when you consider the amount of breaks that you need to take in between steps. However, the cons would be that it does take quite a bit of space and it can get quite messy. 1 or 2 at a time, you are going to remove handfuls of compost from your bin and place them into small cone-shaped piles on your tarp that are roughly 6 centimeters high. Please make sure that if you are handling the compost without gloves on, as I am, that you are washing your hands in between each step. Once you have emptied the entire contents of your bin into these cone shapes, you will need to wait approximately 20 minutes for your worms to migrate downwards to the bottom of your piles. After 20 minutes, you can scoop off the top half of each pile and set it aside in the other empty container. Give it a quick search for any small worms or eggs that may have gotten left behind, and if you find any, add them to the container with the castings and food source. You are then going to repeat this process once again, making your piles into cone shapes and waiting another 20 minutes. After repeating the process of removing the top of your piles, you can put the remaining compost on your tarp as well as the container with the worms and food source back into your vermicompost bin, making sure that food scraps are fully buried. Once you have finished harvesting, you'll want to go back and replenish the contents of your bin with soil, carbon source, and moisture.